collectors and action figure fans, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys MMS 417 Sideshow Collectibles exclusive Battle Damaged Armored Batman from Batman vs. Superman: The Dawn of Justice. For the packaging, this is the front of the box, and this is the back of the box. You open it up just like a shoebox, and on the inside, you have the cast and crew responsible for making this figure. You move that out of the way, and you have the open clamshell that fully showcases the figure, as well as all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. So here we have the battle damage version of Armored Batman opened up and out of its packaging. And starting off first, as always, with his accessories. In addition to the two fairly relaxed hands that are currently on the figure, he also does come with a pair of fisted hands, which have a terrific amount of detail. Coming in to take a closer look at these, as you can see, you got the nice padding here on the back. One thing that was really very nice about the suit was, initially a lot of people thought that it was going to be like an Iron Man kind of thing that was supposed to power him up to try to defeat Superman. In reality, though, it was just a suit that was designed to survive a fight with Superman. So you can see the heavy amount of padding that his gloves have. You can even see it here on the palms. You see that a little bit more in the more open ones, but you can see a lot of nice sculpted in and painted detail. You look at the back here, I mean, great paint variation on that. But massive, bulky, like I said, designed to basically survive a fight. He does come with a left hand that is more open to hold any of his various accessories, but again, you can see the nice padding work on there. Very bulky, very large, and what you would assume to be is very protective. He comes with a right hand here. Well, I mean, both of these are the same kind of hand. You just get a right and left one. He comes with a right hand. That's him just basically pointing. This one you can really see what I was talking about in terms of the padding on it. I mean, you look at the finger and the thickness of it. I mean, that just really does say protective, I guess. Really quite impressive. And then again, you can see more of those details on the inner palm of his hand. So you do got that, so you can have him, you know, like, no, Superman, that's a bad Superman. You do so. I don't know why you would do that. And then you do get a right hand here that is more open with the thumb pointing up. It works really nicely with his little grapple gun sort of thing. But again, same amount of detail put in there. Then you have one that's kind of more open, which works really nicely for supporting his gun. A lot of these accessories we've already gotten before, and I have touched on them in my review of the Chrome Batman that I took a look at a while ago. But these ones are a little bit different because the paint is different. You'll see that more here in a bit when I bring that other one in. In addition to all of the other stuff you do get, you do also get the extra wrist pegs in case anything happens to the ones that are currently on him. He does come with his gun. I mean, it really isn't anything different than what we have seen and gotten before. It's this nice matte black weapon. You can see some paint thrown in there, giving it a little bit of a wear, some silver detail in there. You can extend that out, you know, for stability on his shoulder. He does come with two different bullets. One is opened up. It's like the grenade that would shoot and then have kryptonite gas come out. So you do have a open one and then a closed one. And then if you really wanted to, you can take, well, either of them can fit inside. Oh, it's upside down. Can fit inside there, but no, focus. But you do have to be careful. Going like that does make it fall out. So if you have it pointing, it's going to be fine because it won't fall out if it's just pointing straight like that. So you do get that. Again, that is a reused accessory. You also do get his grapple gun, which does have a lot of very nice intricate detail throughout the whole thing. You can see like the little round sections, some nice silver paint thrown here in the handle area. You look around in the front, gorgeous looking detail there, and then you come around to the back and you can see more of those silver and white paint details. And then again, just through the whole thing, lot of, I mean, that is, I mean, I'll focus on that if I can, a lot of really amazing intricate detail in there. I mean, I love the way that they capture that. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm going to hold off on the other one. You do get the display stand, Armored Batman Battle Damage version. It does have the Batman versus Superman logo. I love how that looks. I like the sort of flame or lava look. It also kind of goes through here, the center section. You can lift this up just like that. You can come around here to the back. It's a little bit tricky to get to. You can take this, lift this up, and then there's a little slot. So you can put that there. This display is much better just like that. If you're going to, I mean, if you're going to leave it like that, it looks fine. It's a nice display piece. It doesn't work so well when you have to stand him on it, because that's where his crotch goes, and so his legs are going to go like right here. I mean, it doesn't work very well when it comes to using this to stand your figures. It still is a really nice display piece, just I don't really, get it. But you can leave it like that, and you can display it very nicely. Now, this is, like I said, the Sideshow exclusive version. What that basically means is you get this. A lot of the battle damage on there as well, but this is the big accessory and a huge selling point. A lot of collectors have really wanted this to the point where they've custom made their own. But now we get an official one from Hot Toys. You can see very long piece. I mean, standing it up, you can't see it. It's just about 12 inches long when you take a look at it lined up with Batman himself. But this is spectacular. Coming around here, looking at the very back, you can see you got a little pointy section, but some nice silver paint on there. You got some nice accents on the silver bits themselves. You got a black handle, couple silver bits throughout there, mostly like handle areas and stuff. You come to the main section, again, nice silver with some wash in there. Got the black, you got some more molded detail right up here in the front, and then you come to the chunk of kryptonite that he wanted to use to beat Superman. Really gorgeous looking. I'll be honest, I love the way it looks, but I do wish, I didn't even notice, like down here, it's also green. Come on, focus. It's also green down here, which looks terrific. It's like it's illuminating the lower section. That looks absolutely great. One thing that I would say is, when you look at it like that, it looks a little bit random with the cutting, but I feel as if the texturing here is a little bit too smooth. I wish it was a little more chaotic looking, I guess. It still looks terrific. I'm just being nitpicky. And then you can see you actually have some gold sort of painted on there to really bring out some of those details. Now, the cool thing about this is this does light up. You come around here, the batteries, you separate this. It's kind of a pain in the butt. You have a very teeny, again, it's not going to focus on it. Yeah, very teeny tiny screw hole right there. You pull that out, you put the batteries in. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But then you have the light switch right here, which gets it. There we go. So you can see gorgeous light up effect on there, which really does nicely illuminate through the entire thing. That is just so gorgeous. I do wish it would glow a little bit more through here. The light is down here, so obviously it's going to be much brighter, but that really does look terrific. This is almost worth buying this set just in of itself. Just a really gorgeous piece, and then again, you flip the switch to turn that off. This was a big selling point. The battle damage on his, well, I shouldn't say uniform, but on his armor is also a nice selling point. But for me, I was always just blown away by this. And a lot of people wondered why we never got this as an accessory by itself, but we know Hot Toys. They're going to do whatever they can to milk things as much as possible. And the way that they included this was to give us a really cool battle damaged Batsuit. Now, coming in to take a closer look, this is where you're seeing a lot of the differences, both in terms of paint and sculpt that they did to the suit to give it that battle damage look that he had when he was actually fighting Superman. The biggest difference is here in the helmet. As you can see, it has that big giant cracking gouge here, which exposes more of Bruce Wayne's face. And always when I looked at this, I could totally see the Ben Affleck look. The mouth is very much identifiable. But then when you look at the underlaid face on him, you see it even more. I think it looks terrific. Now, one thing that does kind of look a little bit interesting, and maybe it's just my perception, but it almost looks like the way that they have this designed, that the eye for the mask section is further out to the side here and not so much where the eye is. I mean, it's almost like if you're looking at the nose section here where the eye should be, it's like that is basically where the regular eye would be, and it's also a little bit lower than what this section is. I mean, you can totally see that it's not lined up properly, or it's like lined up right there at the very bottom. So it does look weird. It's still a cool look, but it's definitely a little strange when you just stare at it. But you can see a great amount of detail with the scratches and the different silver paint put in there. You can see the undersection has, again, that layering of broken material, which looks absolutely spectacular. Come down to look at the rest of the suit. Now, this is a more similar color to what we got with the regular release of the Armored Batman. That was one that I never really liked. I liked the black chrome one that I have, and I'll show that off here in a bit, but the look on that was more my style. So I never, well, I'll play with that in a bit. That's what I wanted in my collection. It looked wet. This looks very dry, but it still looks really cool. Again, you can see a lot of scraping on the shoulder pads. You can see in this upper collar section, it's very much warped and distorted as if Superman's grabbing it and bending it. Come around to the other side, you got that kind of ripple effect as well here on that shoulder bit. You look at the very center section again, and this is where you see a lot of that battle damage. Just like he grabbed hold of it, and from the strength, it just cut through it like it was butter. I mean, that's amazing. The rest of it looks great as well. Nice silver paint scratches on there. Good detail with the gold on the gauntlets. You can see some little dirt bits, moving this kind of out of the way so that you can kind of see more around the torso and everything. Again, great paint variation. Nice detail here with the belt. You come down to the legs. Again, those scratches and everything are nicely replicated. You can see the underlining suit. And this is where, like I was talking about, that this is just armor that is designed. Oh, and I didn't even notice this. This is really awesome. Okay, so you have the regular kind of blades here. These ones are all bent, and you can see like the arm guard itself is kind of bent looking. That's terrific. Didn't even notice that before. A great attention to detail on that. But what I was talking about is the suit is just designed to kind of protect him. He still does have the bat butt. That hasn't changed. That's really always going to be there. And then you look at the cape, and this is absolutely gorgeous as well. Very different than what I have on mine. Very tattered, which looks great. You can see some like dirt in just grime put on there. I mean, and even the feel of it is really kind of grimy looking, but that is really a very nice looking cape. But probably the best one, I think, on all of these Batman figures that we've gotten. But you come down to the legs, a little bit less of the battle damage on there. You have some scrapes and scratches and things like that, but that's just kind of a part of the overall look on the suit. And I'm fidgeting here with the legs here to get everything lined up. But I mean, it is a really impressive looking piece that does really bring home what Superman and Batman did to one another in the film. I mean, they really went at it head to toe. And as I said, the suit was designed to protect them. And it's nice to see that this exclusive version really went the extra mile to give that look. And then, of course, the additional accessory here, which was very much a huge plot point, for Batman to kind of have a defense and be able to bring down Superman. This is a great addition to have as well. Now, for a comparison, here he is next to the one that I have permanently in my collection, that being the black chrome one, which to me, I just feel gives it more of a wet kind of look to it, which is a little bit more my kind of preference, considering while he was confronting Superman, it was raining. So the look for this gives it that slick, glossy feel that I like. This looks amazing, but it has more of a kind of dry look to it. But you can see the differences in terms of the overall sculpt, I guess. Yeah, a lot of scratches on this as well, but you see a lot more of that battle damage with like the chest piece, the shoulder bit, obviously the little arm gauntlet. You can see that this is scratched up, but it's not, dented and dinged up. And then you can see throughout the entire thing, there's just a lot more scratches that are just put throughout it. And then you take a look at the cape, and again, I just think that this one is so much nicer of a cape than the previous version. I mean, this isn't bad. I mean, it's tattered in the bottom, but this just has that completely messed up, and he's gonna want to fall forward, completely messed up and just destroyed look, which I think looks terrific. Both of these are great. I honestly can't really say one's better than the other. It's just your personal preference in terms of what look you want. And then obviously you can see that the helmet is vastly different. I mean, the mouth plate in this cannot be swapped like that one can, because it comes up and you have more of the face. So that is permanent, and it doesn't come with any additional replacement mouthpieces. But it still does have the light up feature. It is a little bit tricky to get to. You pop it off, and then much like that one, you have the little light up section here underneath. You flip the little switch and his one eye lights up. So you have that. Obviously the other one's not going to light up because, well, it's not there. So you do still have the light up functionality that the original one did, and just pop that guy back on there. But really great. I love the look of this suit. I'm one of those guys, I actually like Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he does a good job both as Bruce Wayne and Batman, which nailing both characters is definitely a tough thing to do. First articulation, it is the same as the previous versions. You do have a ball joint here at the neck. This does seem to pop out a little bit easier, but it does stay in there pretty decently. Just when you move it around, it does seem to want to dislodge. So you do have that. The shoulders do have a decent range of motion about that far out. This does kind of lift, and it does have a Velcro section, I think, underneath, so that you can move that forward and back. It does, or in and out, it does rotate forward and back, but you do have to be careful because there is a lot of stuff that bumps into it, so you do want to be careful when you're doing it. He does, I want to say, rotate at the upper part of the thigh, but again, it is limited in the range of motion. It has a nice hinge at the elbow. The wrists do rotate. They move forward and back. That hand pops off. Get that lifted up like that. I want to say that he's got that full waist and ab crunch and everything, and you can see that these are a little bit softer, so you can kind of move that around, but it's really stiff, so not a lot of articulation there. The hips move forward and back a little. They move in and out. Heavy duty ratchet joints that you do need to really force to get to rotate. He does rotate the upper part of the thigh, but the suit here is a little bit restrictive. He does have, I want to say, 2 joints at the knee, but again, all you're going to really get is a little bit less than 90 degrees because the armor kind of bumps up to one another. And then the ankles do rotate, and they also do pivot forward and back. So it does have articulation in it, but it is limited. But honestly, for me, the best look for this guy is a very static, I guess, what's known as a museum pose. And then these arm gauntlets, they do tend to pop things off because they do sit down fairly low to where the wrists are, so you kind of have to really make sure that that's wedged in there to get it to stay in, but they do tend to pop out because of the, I guess, lack of space. But basically, him standing there is imposing and cool looking, and for a Batman display, that, at least for me, works. In general, though, another really impressive piece. Yes, a lot of what we have is recycled, but if collectors and fans really liked that scene where he was battling Superman, this is a great way to create that display. The updated and battle damaged portrait, in addition to the different battle damaged pieces on his armor, all look terrific. The inclusion of the kryptonite spear is a great one. I know a lot of collectors have really wanted this for a long time, and as I said, kind of resorted to getting third-party ones. So I'm glad to see that Hot Toys went ahead and gave us an official one. The armored Batman suit was really very cool in the movie, and I know a lot of collectors that even if they didn't like the film, they liked the look. So say what you want about the movie, at least the costume designers did something good. So if you're a fan of Batman from either the movie or just in general, this is definitely a figure that I would consider picking up. It really does look great in a collection and has a very dramatic presence to it without really getting it in dramatic poses. Just standing here, he looks cool. So all that being said, If the battle damage version of Armored Batman is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Hot Toys 1/6 scale figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, I would really appreciate your support by hitting that thumbs up button. It actually does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, welcome. And before you go, make sure you subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, now more than ever it's important to make sure that you're getting those email notifications. We all know just how unreliable that YouTube subscription box is, and the best way to help support my channel and make sure that you don't miss any future reviews of mine is to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.